Hey everybody, it's Mike Venus, La Soul, and I'm back. And this ain't really gonna be talking about like music or like theory stuff, but just I feel like this individual and there's others like this as well need to hear this, bro. Cause I get where you're coming from, you know what I'm saying. But being creative is not about like perfection. Being creative is just being in the moment. I think like as we get adults or we get older, a lot of things uh, that we did when we were children, not saying you have to be childlike, like mentally, but things we did as children, like drawing, imagining, playing with toys. When you play with your action figures and you'll you'll play out like scenes in your mind and you'll make stories up or you draw. You know what I'm saying? Or you read books and you just without pictures and you just imagine what's going on in your mind or or just going outside and having fun. Making pretending even though it's not there. That's the part of creativity that this individual, Accurate Beats, I don't know his real name, but he's ranting about being creative, right? And he watched somebody who's talking about tech about flexing your muscles, bro. Meaning like don't set your expectations so high. Nah, I'll say this because I know that a lot of his brand has been built up on YouTube, and that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. This is where you start getting into that. You can easily slip into a poser mentality. Now, we already know what a poser is. A poser is someone that's pretending to be something that they're not. And they know it, but yet they have to keep projecting this image that they're like, they are something that they want people to believe in them, but they can't be themselves. So in essence, initially it doesn't cause friction like that, but as you continue with this, it can. You know, this is where you start dibbling into the perfectionism and over analyzing and because you don't want to get exposed, you don't want to be vulnerable. He was talking about writing a script just to do a rant on the topic of creativity. Now, I ain't making fun of this dude because this is serious. Everybody deals with this, especially if you are a person that's in the creative field, like myself. Like it's been times like where I will make something. I know my music is good, but then I'll play it. I ask my wife or I ask other people, and they will agree. Oh, this is really nice. I like this, and then I'll just be like, nah, it's not. I'll delete it, or I won't even go back to it. I'll just abandon it because in my mind I put up some unrealistic expectation on myself that is not really attainable because there is no pressure. You know what I'm saying? In that expectation, it's something that you you and myself at times have and other creatives have put on themselves that other people are not even expecting of them. Or, he get a lot of comments and stuff, but he might have seen one comment. Or, I'm not that high up in YouTube where I can see all I'm not even that, I don't show that I really don't give that much energy towards looking a certain way on YouTube, obviously, if you see my videos. But I don't even know the analytics to the T who watch my videos, gender, age, what part of the world. I don't know that. I just make the video. You know what I'm saying? And I just enjoy being in the moment. Even this video, this is random. I didn't plan this. I just watched this video. A good bit of it, and I see what the issue is. The issue is that you're not having fun, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like making music should be fun. I'm having fun. I don't care about my gear. I'm working on my iPad. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even in my studio. I'm outside. I'm getting fresh air. I'm enjoying this weather. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the animals that be in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? The birds that come through. Hell, the squirrels, the neighborhood cats that be roaming. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, wow. Not even focused. I haven't even started on anything because I don't want to put expectations upon myself before I do this. I just want to enjoy this moment. And then it might inspire me to make something or not. Now I know like when you a lot of them they have these external pressures on them because they gotta present a piece of gear a certain kind of way. They're gonna deal with flack from other people. I probably done gave these people a bunch of flack because it's like the way y'all coming across, you're not even really passionate about the shit you selling. Or you making these videos that seem so random and left because maybe the person that's paying you or gave you something is trying to persuade you to subliminally or consciously attack another brand that's a competitor, and you might feel a certain kind of way about that. You know what I'm saying? Like that rabbit hole goes deep, you know, and he probably feel from what he was saying, it's not being creative that's the issue. It's posing. You posing, bro. You posing. He was talking about like the beats. I'm like, bro, you do basic 90s, maybe early 2000 hip hop, which is sample based. It's not that hard, bro. You sample something, if that's what you like to do. You sample something, you chop it up, you finger drum a basic drum beat that anybody can like flow on, and then you find a pattern that you like from your chops, and you make one or two sections. I watched your videos before, and that's simple. And then you might scratch to it. But if you're not having fun doing that, then switch it up. Try something else. Like do some like you're not gonna lose all your fucking subscribers if you all of a sudden do a house track. I personally will be refreshed. I'm not subscribed to you because I already have my reasons why. Your channel went from teaching about stuff to now being a salesman, and it kind of turned me off from watching your content. But I saw this and I was like, let me check out what he's talking about. And I feel for this dude and others like him. Like, um, he was talking about like he makes boom bap. The shit's easy, bro. It's one of the. It's like the most entry level. Not shitting on it, but it's fundamental to beat making. But it should never be that hard, bro. And you're not a professional. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you selling records or you got like a published deal, you signed to a label or you part of a production team. Yeah, you might have those pressures coming down from label execs and people who who you work for. But if you just doing this shit for fun, bro, it should never be that serious. Like, if that's the case, you know what I'm saying? If I was moving like you was moving, I wouldn't never post any of my music. All I do is weird shit on my channel with music and gear and stuff. If I feel like making music and sharing it, just to be like, look, I think this was pretty cool. I don't even go in mind with a genre. You know what I'm saying? Just switch it up. Just turn the shit on if you want to and make some music. You don't have to share it. Just do it just for the enjoyment, bro. It's never that serious. You know what I'm saying? Relax and be in the moment. That's the whole point of being creative is using your imagination. Because when you're a kid and you're using your imagination, you ain't. Oh, I'm in my room. You know, I this is all I can do. No, I used to make up all types of shit when I would play with my toys or I'll draw and stuff. Or I wasn't, YouTube and this stuff is kind of like these kids with video games and tablets. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't use their imagination. I didn't get my first game system until I was like 8 years old. My mom would have me drawing, coloring, playing with my action figures, playing with my cars. I'll build stuff with my toys, or I'll make up little stories and stuff, or I'll play with my brother or my sister with their stuff, or we will make games up. But as you get older, sometimes that's drilled out of you, and it's kind of like you trying to approach something that is like being a child again, making music, right? Or you can use your imagination. It's not stressful. You can just do whatever you want. And if people gonna fuck with it, they're gonna fuck with it. They're not. It is what it is. It's not for them. But I would never put that type of external pressure on myself. Like, okay, I was doing drill music, but I'm not doing drill music. I'm doing something else. I did lo-fi. I did something else. I don't want to do that. I do whatever I feel like doing because this is YouTube. This is my channel. This is my music. It's original compositions. You know, and yeah, I can publish my stuff and make it, where I can make money off of it. But if that's not your goal, you just having fun and you just, enjoying what you have, then just do that. Or just do something else. Yeah, it was a time where I didn't make music for almost going on like a couple months. I didn't even touch the machine. I did something else. I'll spend time with my wife playing Call of Duty. Fuck them people on Call of Duty. They be cheating. They be hacking and shit, but that's a whole nother story. Or I'll read a book, or we will just talk about, something we read or something we saw on TV. We'll discuss it. I was doing something else besides just studying up on music or just working on music. Or we'll go traveling or do something else. I didn't have to just like, oh yeah, I gotta do music. Because it's like when I feel myself starting to get like that, I have to take a step back. And maybe you need to take a step back and just chill and do something else. And then when you feel refreshed or you need to recharge, then come back. You feel charged back up, then get back into doing what you're doing. But, I know some people need scripts. I don't need scripts. I go off the top of the dome. I be in the moment. I say what I feel like saying. I know I'm not that big on YouTube yet. Or that's not even my goal. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I don't really care. But I just want to encourage this person and other people like him. Relax. Do something else. You know what I'm saying? Read a book. Go take a bath, bro. Soak in the tub. You know what I'm saying? Go for a walk. Go outside. Get some air. You don't have to be bowed down to this room. You don't have to just record with one camera. You don't have to do like 6, 7 camera angles, bro. Just do one angle. Maybe not even have your face in the cam. Do a screen recording. Try something else. You know what I'm saying? Mix it up. Because I know at times I don't feel like putting this shit on and putting my face in the cam and talking, looking at the camera. It's awkward. Shit's weird. It's weird. I feel more comfortable doing the screen recordings. And I figured it out. I'm doing it more. I feel like I could be more of myself without feeling like I have to stare at the screen and make sure I'm not like looking weird staring at some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just be able to just flow and be in the moment. So just, relax. Or get another hobby, and then whenever you do that, come back to it. I don't think you just gonna lose all your subscribers. You got tons of them. This is his second channel, but I'm talking on your main channel. But yeah, Being creative, I won't rant on being creative because being creative is really just using your imagination and being childlike in that moment and just enjoying yourself. You know what I'm saying? Remember how fun it was when you was, well, for me, recess, you know what I'm saying? Or, fucking art class, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had fun. Theater class, with acting and shit, I had fun. That was my time, you know what I'm saying? Or whenever you came home from school, you finished all your homework and you bathed and ate your shit, and then you had your time to do whatever you want to do. Try to get back into that type of flow where you remember when this shit was fun and happy and enjoy it. And, don't put those stress or the expectation. You might find that you make something that is fun and don't judge it. I think that's another thing. You judge everything. I went through a phase like that where I was judging every fucking thing. Like, oh, that's not the right snare, or this is the pattern they use. I got to use this pattern, and it became not fun, and I didn't enjoy myself, and it was felt and heard in my music, and it came across like that on my channel too. So, this is just Mike cares, bro. Mike Venus cares. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm an anarchist, and I feel like people should do what is best for them, govern themselves. But in this case, sometimes people need a little like, hey, bro, it's okay. It's never that serious. It's never that serious. And honestly, I don't expect none of you people that be selling this shit on YouTube, all that gear, like you really know the gear. It took me years to learn the fucking force, and I'm still learning that shit because they keep messing with the OS. And, if I don't be on it like every fucking day, which I haven't, I have to kind of relearn some shit. And that's just the process, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, relax. Relax. Have fun.